We're on page 38, and this chapter is very, very important. Perek Daled, the fourth chapter, is Harachmanut. They translate it to compassion. Some would say mercy, kindness. Rachmanut is connecting to a person's needs, to their suffering, to their cry for help. You know, we live in a world where people tell us that you got to be tough. Life isn't fair. You know, you see someone else hurt, no longer you try to help them, just, it's too bad for them. That very insensitive world.
Yeah.
You know, when we have, I have a friend who in his nature is a very kind person. He's a good person. He married a girl, also a good person, but from a family of real macho, tough guys. They were once driving on the East Coast, and they got in a car accident. Nothing major, just and it was the other person's fault. So my friend got out of the car. He goes over to the driver and says, "Sir, are you okay? Are you feeling all right? Do you need an ambulance? Are you, and then, okay, you're okay. Listen, let's change our insurance information." They're going back and forth, and he gets back into his car, having handled the situation calmly, caring about the other person, and she starts screaming at him.
Oh.
You're not a real man. You were a real man. You would have taken that guy and shoved his face into the windshield. You would have screamed at him. You would have. And my friend had, look, what's wrong with you? I mean, I'm not an animal. I'm a human being. The other guy, so we got in a car accident. Nobody got hurt. It's just a car. We have insurance for that. And she could not wrap her head around the fact that how weak of a man her husband was. And it was a really tough thing for their marriage, for many things that came afterwards. And unfortunately, we live in that kind of world where you'd rather be the person who's screaming at someone else than showing that, what's going to hurt you to be compassionate there? To check if another human being is doing okay. The world today is a very strange world.
Actually, I admire that. A man who can control himself, I think that's important in life. That's what I have to handle.
Yeah, I see this, and I'll tell you now. Now it's an election year. And I don't speak politics in general. But I'll tell you, whenever you go looking for a candidate, whoever it is, I don't know if any one of them are good. I don't think so. But anyone who's good. You have to look for somebody who has good character traits. And part of having good character traits is a certain sense of compassion. It's also knowing how to speak with derech eretz, with a proper etiquette. It's knowing how to retain someone's composure. Someone's going to be the president, especially of this country.
Yeah.
This country is one of the leading countries in the world. Whether you like it or not, this country sets an example in the world. And it has to be a person who's noble, respectable. A person who, our country, its decline is directly connected to the decline of character of the people leading it. Like any other country in the world. Rachmanu, to have compassion on other people. It's one of the cornerstones of our faith. Rabbi Avraham says, Harachamanut himin hamidot haterumiyot umimatorot haTorah. Compassion is one of the lofty traits and is one of the main objectives of the Torah. Meaning, one of the main objectives of the 613 mitzvot are to help you reach a place of compassion. That book that I recommended the other week, the Moreh Nevuchim, Maimonides' Moreh Nevuchim on the Torah. The Rambam there goes through every mitzvah, almost, and shows you this mitzvah was meant to make you a better human being. A better friend, a better husband, a better neighbor, a better... whatever it was that you want to be better, but a better human being. Mitzvot that you might think are just about Hashem and about making God happy, the Rambam says, not really. Actually, these mitzvot are meant to refine you. And it's almost when you see a person who claims to be following a religious lifestyle, and they're not a refined person, it really puts you off. It's like, whoa, that's how you eat, that's how you talk, that's how you walk, that's how you scream at other people. It's really off-putting because it's innately understood that Torah is trying to get you to be a better person. Via tchuna harishona miben hatchunot hamiyuchasot lo yitaleh. From all the character traits that Hashem is described as, this is the first character trait that we call Hashem. As we say in the book of Shmot, in chapter 34, El Rachum. Hashem says that Hashem, your God, is compassionate. Vod Pam Chazra Torah Zot, and the Torah again in the book of Dvarim in chapter 4, the Torah says, Ki El Rachum Adonai Elohecha. For Hashem, your God, is a compassionate God. Again. V'hanaviyim amru. And there are many such prophets. Here he quotes Yonah and Yoel and Nehemiah and Divrei Hayamim. Ki ata el chanun v'rachum. For you are a kind and compassionate God. Over and over and over again. Hashem is being referred to as kind and compassionate.
You see Rachum a lot in davening.
Very good, right. Even like Birkat HaMazon, Harachaman, Harachaman, Harachaman. The compassionate one, Barry's right, all over Tefillah we're using the word. Barachamim, Hashem should. We're asking Hashem to be compassionate, like He is compassionate. The first character trait we call Hashem. I was once sitting on an airplane. I must have been flying to Israel. I don't know exactly where I was flying. And there was a lady next to me who saw that I was studying at the SSC, the Shehebar Sephardic Center. She said, no, SSC is a Greek, it's like the Hellenist Officers Training College. Don't ask me, I don't know, it's a Greek Army University. So she thought I was from the Greek Army University, and I said, no, I'm not. So she had gone there, and I said, are you guys religious? I'm not so religious, but in her course on comparative religions, she was taught that the God of the Old Testament is an angry, vicious God, and the God of the New Testament, so to speak, is a compassionate and loving God. It's almost a crazy concept. The Torah, the first thing the Torah used to describe Hashem is El Rachum. Hashem is a compassionate God. Ukvar orra haTorah midat atzila zo. The Torah encourages this noble trait. וקבעה לה התקשרויות רבות וריככה את אכזריות הלב. It provides many methods of how to reach this level of compassion, and its whole purpose is, it's a beautiful term, to soften the callousness of our hearts. Meaning, in general, our hearts are callous. We don't care so much about others.
Or we can be trained to be that way, like in the military.
Very good.
Yeah.
You know,
and it's not our nature naturally, but they train you into that.
Sure. I mean, I even see this now in the hospitals with doctors. Doctors are trained to be desensitized because they cannot take these things personally. If they would never be able to do their jobs.
That's true.
But society also gives us a certain callousness. It amazes me every time I bring up the topic of homeless people. I don't care why a person's homeless. I don't even care how he got there, what he uses the money you give him for. Is he a drug addict? Is he an alcoholic? The very fact that I go to bed tonight and I'm going to have a room and a bed, and there's somebody else who's sleeping on the street, regardless of whatever reason he's there for, how can you not have compassion? Is it his fault? Maybe it's his fault, sure. Can he do something to change it? Sure, maybe he can change it. But that doesn't exempt me from the character trait of compassion.
True.
It doesn't mean I have to give him everything in my wallet either. But compassion, rachmanut. The person says, no, it's his fault. It's impossible to be homeless. And then those people they're tricking their hearts. They're building up a wall around it because they cannot cope for a moment that somebody else who just doesn't have. You know, this attitude of not caring enough about other people's pain, other people's suffering, it's a very dangerous thing. Kol ma shetzivah Hashem b'inyan zeh. Everything that Hashem commanded in this regard, page 38. Kigon litmoch aniyim ve'evyonim. Oh look, Baruch Hashem. In order to support poor and destitute people. Ulachzir he'avut na'ani. Do you know what this mitzvah is? Are you familiar with this mitzvah here that he's quoting? To return a borrower's collateral. Look at footnote 3. Someone explain this to me.
This refers.
It says you should not keep the cloak of a poor man overnight.
Explain to me what's the situation. What happened?
It's like, for example, someone borrowed money in return. Okay, you could borrow $100 from me, but you're gonna have to leave me your boots.
Right, why do you do that?
It's collateral. In other words, to make sure that they return their
Very
money.
good. It's to make sure they come back. Now it's a poor person though. It's his only pair of boots. It's his only night garment. What do you do with him?
You give it back.
You give it back.
Yeah.
But what about you? You're going to come out, we said that word the other night, a fire. You're going to come out the loser? He's going to take his boots and run away with your money. Says Rabbeinu Avraham, the whole point of this mitzvah is to train you. Lemidat hareu itkashrut. This is training, lemidat harachmanut, to the character trait of compassion. You have to know that you have to be the better person. Stop being callous. To soften the callousness of your heart. That's the term Rabbeinu Avraham is using.
Circumcise your heart.
Yeah, very good. The Torah uses umaltem et orlat levavchem. Circumcise the. Over there, the Torah is referring to a stubbornness that keeps you away from Hashem. Here, Rabbi Yonatan is referring to a stubbornness, a callousness that keeps you away from other people. It's barriers that you put up to not connect another one's suffering. Hashem not just commanded us to be compassionate, He also prohibited from us to be cruel. It's very good. I like this term that instead of using cruelty, He uses the word callousness. Hashem forbids callousness. Do not harden your heart. Hashem commands us this in the Torah.
They're different. One is cruelty is almost like an ash, like a fire, whereas callousness is more like the scorpion. It's like cold. It said that it's better to be like a snake, which is hot and it has poisonous venom, but to be like an akara, like it's cold. It's cold.
Very good.
Its venom is very cold.
So this could be what he's trying to do. Is this? It's not a cruelty like you're going out of your way to hurt somebody. It's you don't care enough about another person to even pay attention to them.
Let them eat cake.
Right. And in this matter of softening the callousness of one's heart, Amar, the Torah says in the book of Shemot, Ki hi kisuto levada, hi simlato leoro. B'mei yishkav. The Torah says, this is his only clothing. This is the garment for his skin. What else do you want him to sleep in? The Torah is saying, someone comes and says, I want to borrow money. Say, fine, give me your pajamas. At night you have to give it back to me. It should be there first thing in the morning to bring it back to you. But how can you not have compassion on another person? V'yov amar, im lo bachiti l'kshayom, agma nafshi le'evyon. Did I not weep for the suffering? Did my soul not grieve for the destitute? V'yov, I want to just, there's a story, now it's Pesach almost coming up. We're thinking Purim, but Pesach is right around the corner. By the way, regarding Pesach, anybody who's interested, the second version is out. The Brisker Rav has a famous story. The Brisker Rav, your common eye won't pick them up, but you could look. The Brisker Rav once had a lady come to him on the eve of Pesach
2.0,
and she came over to him and said, Rabbi, I have a question. I don't have wine for the Seder. I don't have enough money. Am I allowed to use milk for the 4 cups of wine at the Seder? Instead of wine, can I use milk? So the Brisker Rav said, you have to give me an hour, I need to look into my books. And he goes to his books and he pulls out volumes, trying to find a way to allow this poor lady to use milk for the Seder. Afterwards he comes back and he tells her, I'm sorry, but there's no way that you can use milk for the 4 cups. But just give me a moment, I'm going to be right back. And he goes to the back room in his house and he takes out his savings for the month and a number of gold coins, and he gives it to the lady and says, here, go and buy yourself food for the Seder. The Brisker Rav's wife says, I don't understand. She came to you asking if she can use milk for the 4 cups of wine. You want to buy her a bottle or 2 of wine, fine, but why do you have to give her this much money? It's more than a bottle of wine. And he said, listen, if a lady's coming to me and saying, I want to know if I can use 4 cups of wine for my Seder, get 4 cups of milk instead of 4 cups of wine, what is she really telling you?
She doesn't have enough food.
She doesn't have enough food. Meaning, if she's going to be eating milk by the Seder, she's probably not going to have any kind of meat. I mean, she probably doesn't have food. So he said, I have to read behind the question and see what is it that she really needs. And I realize she needs a lot more than just a bottle of wine. That's compassion. Did he have to do that? He didn't have to do that. But the Torah is telling you to be compassionate. You know, when we talk about people that are bringing Jews back to Judaism through anger, it's not out of this that way is incorrect. That way is not only not incorrect, that way is not warranted by the Torah. Compassion is the first trait. I can't say, come back to Judaism through cruelty. Why would I want to do that to that person? Through compassion. To show people the beautiful side of Am Yisrael. Chamor Chaliyahu. There was once a man that came to Chamor Chaliyahu and wanted to divorce his wife. Why? He said he doesn't trust that she's being loyal to him. He's been handicapped for a long time and it takes her too long to come home at the end of the day, and she must be going to see somebody else. It's a serious accusation against your wife. He calls her to Bedin and she says, my husband, it's in his head. It's all in his head. There's no truth to it. That's what takes you so long to come home. She said, listen, I work 3 jobs to support her. She says, she worked 3 jobs to support her husband who's handicapped. That it takes her to get from one bus to the next bus, to the next bus, to the next bus. The husband said, I don't believe you, stop making up stories. So Chamar Chaliah wrote down all her bus numbers, and he said, I want to come tomorrow, I want to try it out. He went in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning when she leaves the house, he got on the bus and he went to the next place. How long does it take her here? 3 hours? Okay, 3 hours. He waits 3 hours. He gets on the next bus, takes another bus. The second job, the third job, comes back after the whole day, shows up the next day in Beit Din and says, not only is your wife right, she said, tzaddiket for supporting you, she does it faster than I could have even done. Now, Chachamar Chaliah was being paid a clerk's salary from the chief rabbinate of Israel. Did he have to waste a day of his life to go and get on a bus and track it? He didn't have to. But that's compassion.
Yeah. Well, it's the mitzvah of Aharon, which is to make peace between.
Very good. But Chachamar Chaliah was very often compared to Aharon, about bringing peace between people. Above and beyond call of duty. But that's what you expect from somebody who learned Torah. You don't expect the other way around. You don't expect the one who says everyone's going to go to hell and everyone. That's not what you expect when you see a person who studies Torah. It's compassion. Then, therefore, says the Rabbeinu Avraham, "Ven anachnu tzrichim la'achiv et hadibur al midah zo v'chiyuva." He says we see no need. Notice that he doesn't say I see no need. Very often, Talmidei Chachamim speak about themselves in third person. It's a common thing, like Devorah's Rebbe, the stolen Rebbe. When you speak to him, he speaks to you. We do this. We don't do that. He's speaking about himself, but it's the way that important people speak about themselves. We see no need to elaborate on this trait and the obligation. If I have to come and tell you that to be a good Jew means to be a good human being who has compassion, character traits, it's an elementary thing you have to know. It's the first step. ומפני שכבר ביארנו בחלק ג' מספר זה בעניין תמיכה לעניים, and because we already speak in the third section about supporting the poor, I'm not sure that we have this third section in the book. מפני שהזכרנו פסוקי התורה ברחמנותו של יוסף בפרק שהזכרנו בו חיי אבות. Again, I don't know that we have this chapter either. ופה רק נאמר, let us just add here, כי המידה התורמית הזאת, that this lofty character trait, אין פירושה שיהיה אדם רך לב ומתפעל יותר מדי. I'm opening up a whole can of worms here. He says a person shouldn't be as soft-hearted and impressionable as women. כמו הנשים ודומהן, or those that are similar to them. מחלושי הנפש, who are of a very sensitive nature. You have to understand here, Rabbeinu Avraham is doing the same thing his father does. They all agree that there are exceptions to every rule. Agree. He's not telling you there could be a woman who is not overly sensitive. At the end of the day, there are many places and many times you can come with an example of, women are strong in certain ways, and sometimes you'll see, I've seen it here in the Beit Knesset, there's a spider on the wall. Oh my gosh, come kill the spider. You're like, you run your own company. What are you afraid of a spider for? It's a certain sensitive nature that the Baruch Hashem, that's actually what makes people better wives and mothers, and a fine eye onto the sensitivities of other people. Says Rabbeinu Avraham, that's not what the Torah is trying to get you to be. It's not trying to get you to be a scared person, a timid person. It's trying to make you a compassionate person. It's a different character trait. He said a misplaced mercy would be, I don't kill chickens because I just can't bring myself to slaughter a chicken. He said that's not the sensitivity or compassion Rabbeinu Avraham is trying to get you to reach. He said rather your temperament should be inclined away from callousness and cruelty and towards compassion and sensitivity. And then a person will be able to be kind and compassionate to those who need compassion. He'll be able to help one in distress. He'll be able to save an oppressed from the hands of his oppressors. And he'll be able to feed the hungry. And be able to clothe the naked and the like. Rabbeinu Avraham says these are all the goals. The goals are to be that kind of person.
And the Rambam talks about the derech hazahav down the middle, and I think with any trait, if you go too far, like when I was in Israel, we were looking at Tel Aviv, what was going on there, and there was a vegan group, right? We're very much into alternative medicine and natural food, not totally vegan per se, but this vegan group was advertising that it's murder to kill animals, and that all meat eaters should be killed. Literally,
the other extreme.
This is Israel, of course, where everything is so extreme that these people are so heinous they should die.
Right.
The animals are the same as people, kind of
And this is, you brought up a good point. By the way, you're going to see here the next section that we're going to study tomorrow, inappropriate compassion. Meaning, he can't tell you just to be compassionate. The person has to know there's a limit to your compassion as well. There are boundaries. The Torah cannot expect from you to be someone unhealthy in a different direction. Both sides are unhealthy. But since it's natural for us to be more callous, less compassionate to others, the Torah is trying to knock this into us, but not to the point where you flop over to the other side. There's a healthy balance. Thanks for bringing that up. Because Hashem, we will deal with that tomorrow. You should just know this: helping the oppressed from the hands of their oppressors. How Kehillat said that if you go through the entire Torah, you'll find that this is the loftiest character trait of the Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu only becomes the leader of the Jewish people when he proves that he will put his life on the line to save other people. If it's saving the Jew from the hand of the Egyptians, or saving the two Jews who are fighting with each other, he didn't have to get involved. But that attitude of I want to get involved and save the underdog, that's actually a very, very lofty character trait that Hashem felt, that made him worthy, that made him able to be the leader of the Jewish people and take them from slavery in Egypt until they're almost the land of Israel. But Hashem, that's a class for tomorrow. Good one.